Well, most of us have at some point received a parking or traffic fine, and it can be expensive and annoying, especially if you feel you were incorrectly booked. And if that is the case, you should pay attention to our next story, because Georgia Main explains how almost half of those who challenge their fines are let off.
They've been investigating since April, and we're just not getting anywhere.
It's just Big Brother gone crazy.
From car space to courtroom, they're the epic battles over parking fines.
I parked illegally. I accepted that. I paid the fine. It was their mistake. The paperwork was done incorrectly.
Wars could be fought and won in the time it took Peter Fraser to sort out his parking fine bungle. The pensioner was parked in a no-standing zone, copping a $105 fine.
I've still got a receipt to show that I actually paid it.
After receiving the money, Victoria Police then sent a letter to say the original paperwork had been filled out incorrectly. The date of the offence hadn't been filled in. Peter would be refunded and a new fine would be issued, which he needed to pay again.
Send it back to them. And that was the beginning of the end. And they started this terrorist attack, upping the bill and sending warrants and sheriff's letters.
Peter paid up, but authorities claimed they never received the cheque. It took 6 years for authorities to realise their mistake.
Read the paperwork, look at the receipt, look at the dates, the details. I mean, like, hello, Earth to planet moron.
Silver, not black.
John LaPiccolo has been fighting Nillumbik Council in Victoria for 8 months over a parking fine for a car he doesn't even own.
My wife said, look, you know, it's not our car. Oh, yes, it is. We have a photo. We went, oh, wow. Well, then maybe we are wrong. Have a look at it. Right. That is definitely not this car.
The photo from the scene of the alleged crime clearly shows a black Nissan Ute, but John drives a silver Nissan four-wheel drive. John has no idea why his number plate has been linked to the Ute.
And they're still saying it's my car. I'm starting to believe that I've got this black car.
Despite the cars not matching up and John claiming he's never even driven through the area where the offence occurred, the council is refusing to revoke the $280 fine.
They're saying that I could lose my licence and all of that.
Traffic lawyer Sean Hardy says it can be worth disputing a fine. In Victoria alone, nearly 400,000 people challenged parking and traffic fines last financial year. Nearly half of them, 187,000, were either downgraded or thrown out.
It's not uncommon for a council to make mistakes when issuing parking fines.
I got a ticket here which very clearly says stop in loading zone between times 9:29 a.m. to 9:29 a.m. So that is less than a minute. How can you book someone for stopping for less than a minute?
You heard right. Dr. Rebecca Jacob was fined $143 for being parked less than a minute. She took the case to court and won, but her joy was short-lived. Dr. Jacob had to pay court costs, which equalled the amount of the original ticket.
That's the most ridiculous thing. He immediately said, case dismissed without prejudice. I paid $143, which was the actual original fine.
Australian councils are embracing new parking technology, like number plate recognition cameras, which allow an inspector to issue a fine without leaving their car. But many councils have already dropped these high-tech cameras because of inaccurate readings, meaning these fines may not hold up in court.
If they use that sort of technology, they're going to face all sorts of problems should people wish to take it to court. The error rate may be small, but the baggage that it carries is huge because every error results in so many hours of humans having to deal with it that it's not worth it.
As for John, he's happy he didn't have to battle for 6 years like Peter. After 8 months, he's had a win. The Nillumbik Council has withdrawn the fine without explaining how the mix-up occurred.
I don't know how many thousands and thousands of people out there are paying thousands of dollars and it's not their fine. It'd be really nice if they actually gave us an apology on air, don't you think?
And we're still waiting.